When James and I first moved to Japan, I used my 2 Japanese words quite a lot, konnichiwa and sayonara. But after a little while, one of my new Japanese friends pulled me aside and she explained that that word didn't mean what I thought it meant. Sayonara actually means goodbye forever. It's a final farewell. So I feel it's appropriate and safe to say sayonara 2020.
2020, it was a year of cliches, unprecedented, a year like no other. We learned how to pivot, how to adapt. Words like social distancing and isolation became commonplace in almost every conversation. 2020 is going to long be remembered as a year of bushfires and flooding, of a global pandemic and of racial unrest. It didn't just grip our nation, but all of the nations.
And coming into 2020, there was actually a real sense of expectation and anticipation. What would this year bring? But I don't think any of us saw coming what ended up coming in 2020. And how did the church respond? How did we as a community respond?
We'd been through our own set of challenges, but what we were reminded of was that Jesus will continue to build his church.
Yeah, we saw people added to our community despite the circumstances, and sometimes in the strangest of circumstances.
We learned that we don't need a building in order to be the gathered people of God.
We saw families who'd previously been hurt and torn apart by tragedy come together to rest and to heal, and for children to play at the Refuge.
We saw finance raised to rescue children out of poverty in Jesus' name. We saw safe drinking water provided to a village in Indonesia.
We took to the streets in Chatswood and saw prayer warriors march and contend for our city for breakthrough.
We saw people step up and into areas of gifting and purpose, something that we'll continue to see in the months to come.
And we heard each other's stories, we heard each other's testimonies, who we are and how we became who we are. And we saw people get married, buy properties, start new jobs.
We did life together. We shared our challenges. We bared our souls. We carried one another's burdens.
But as we did these things, we did them together. It really was a year like no other.
So thank you for stepping up. Thank you for leaning in. Thank you for reaching out, for sharing the gospel, for contending with God in prayer, and for loving well. Thank you for opening your lives, your homes, your finances. Thank you for opening your hearts. In a time of less structure, sometimes we can be fooled into thinking that not much has gone on. But I actually think that in many ways, we've done more gospel ministry than ever before. So let's celebrate all the things that God has done this year. And let's look to the future and ask ourselves and ask God, can we take the best of the past and the present into the future that God has for us? God bless. We love you guys.